allows guys like me to do this.
Fake. Prescott has plenty of time. Ferguson wide open. Look at him go. Jumping over people at the 30. Picked up. Prescott looking to run. Throws across his body downfield. Oh! 3rd and goal. Prescott throws. Lofting end zone. It is caught for the fake Taylor. Prescott back foot throw. Caught. Jumps in. Touchdown. And they're going to run it to Elliott. Up the middle and in. Touchdown, Dallas.
Hey, man, it's been a minute since we came to talk about them Cowboys. So here we go again, setting it straight with fam. I got the 2 favorite sons in the world with me today. We about to do it again. And because so much has passed, we lost against them Green Bay. Yeah. And then right after that, we was that beat down to those Vikings. And man, that's a conversation right there that could take it like 3 or 4 segments. But then, here we are, just yesterday, playing against those New York Giants. And we're going to talk about them first because that's something we just witnessed. Some good old football. I know one of us think we were horrible in the first half. I tend to think otherwise. But that's okay. That's what we're here for. Those Giants are not a subpar football team, so to speak. Divisional rivals. And if you ask me, I think they played a really good game for the first half because they played a really good football team. That's right. But we are so far from being out of the water, though. We're not over. We have a lot to talk about. But before we do, we're going to do it like we always do. And that is, how about them Cowboys? That's right. So now, I see the expressions, this is going to be a good segment. I see the expressions, I see some doubts, and I see some, that's okay, though. But right now, we're going to go ahead and get started from this Giants game. Just this Giants game we're talking about right now. I just want to know who you guys think is the number 1 star that edged out of the rest yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Who was the MVP? Okay, Joshua, who was your MVP from yesterday's game?
I think this is a consensus for everybody. CeeDee Lamb. Right? And I say that because of the fact that CeeDee Lamb had, contested catches after contested catches. And then also, he ran for 106 yards. And I say that with
he did miss that connection with Dak that got Dak.
I say that with Jordan's kind of alluding to it with a bit of hesitation, right? MVP not as in like, oh my goodness, this guy had no faults. He went off or whatever. It's just kind of we scraped by. By we, I mean the Dallas Cowboys scraped by. They scraped by, and they, in some senses, for the first half, they played down to their opponent. Because CeeDee Lamb had penalties in himself. I don't know if he had 1 or 2 penalties. I think he had 2 penalties. If I could be wrong. No, I think he had one penalty. That was Noah Brown that had the other penalty. So he had 1 penalty, and then also he ran for 106 yards. And there were some times where, you got to finish plays. You got to sometimes, if you want to be the number 1 wide receiver, right? There's got to be times where you just got to go and take it. He had a respectable game, right? But at the same time, there are reasons why we're trying to get Odell Beckham Jr., if you will. So,
I wonder why. Why would we need to get Odell Beckham Jr.? That's crazy.
Respectable game. He did a lot of contested catches. Kudos to the Giants, even though their secondary was decimated. And I personally feel like some of those contested catches shouldn't be contested catches, and that just comes down to route running or whatever like that. But good on them, you saw it. There was like 7 defensive backs in one play, and actually multiple plays. They had to do whatever they had to do to stop the passing game and kind of stop the running game. But as I said, kudos to CeeDee Lamb for being the MVP for this game. What about you, Jordan?
Bro, okay. I guess I'll start off with my MVP. which I would probably say nobody. But if I had to go with somebody, I'd probably go with Zeke just because he looked good. He looked good
That's
uh,
fair.
last night. He had what was it? I believe
Nobody
he
ever did.
had like 16 attempts for 92 yards and a touchdown. Zeke looked great last night. Um, as it pertains to like just Zeke, I feel like Pollard they didn't do what they did last week this week with Pollard. It was just a weird first half. And like if it hadn't been for that second half, luckily there's two halves and you have to play a complete football game, which they did not play a complete football game. But I don't know. I don't care if the Giants are our rivals. I don't care about none of that. Like if you show me what we did against Okay, so look what we did against Green Bay. We all know the reason why we lost to Green Bay. Why? Because miscommunications, undisciplined football led to two interceptions because there was miscommunications, stupid calls by the coach, okay,
Penalties.
and penalties. Okay. So then we go to the Vikings. That was the first time that we've ever seen the Cowboys play a great, at least in my lifetime of me watching football, of them playing a complete, solid, great game. It was just beautiful. It was immaculate. They could do no wrong
They're
versus the
giving the opponent,
Vikings.
right? Giving the opponent.
Because the opponent was 8-1 when we played them,
Okay.
or seven. Yeah, they were 8-1 when we played them, right? Or
Mhm.
whatever their record was. The second team, the best team in our conference, right? The second best team in our conference. And then you come in here. So you go versus Giants. I understand the Giants are a rival. I understand that, they're gonna play us with more grit and gravitas or whatever. But the fact that you go into that first series, throw, and then you want to run on fourth down and two. I mean, that was stupid play calling to me. And then because of that, Zeke doesn't pick up the first down, so now you put our defense in a bad situation, and now they get three. So now right off the top, they're in the lead. Okay, so now the Giants have some. Okay, yeah. All right, then we go down again, right? And then Dak throws a pick, miscommunication. Like, what are we doing as a team? And then penalties upon penalties upon penalties. We were the most penalized team last year, and we're second most penalized team, if not, I think tied for most penalized team this year. It's just look, people want to, oh, we're Super Bowl bound. No, I don't think we're Super Bowl bound. I think everybody needs to come back down to earth and look at the team for what it is, right? We're a really good team that has really high ceiling, but will we ever reach that ceiling? No, because we're like Icarus. We fly too close to the sun and get burned. We get burned by what? That big overall sun of undiscipline. And that's what's gonna keep us from being what we were versus the Vikings. Stupid plays calling by Kellen Moore, stupid decision making by Mike McCarthy and penalties. Okay, now they changed their narrative, right? Going in the second half. But my problem is that's always there. That first half is what the Cowboys usually are, and you got to dig yourself out of a hole. Now, when it comes to playing better teams, they're not. If we did that versus the Vikings, I don't believe we beat the Vikings because we did that versus the Green Bay and we didn't beat Green Bay. So it was a tale of two halves. Like you saw what we looked like versus Vikings versus what we saw when we looked like versus the Green Bay. It's Dallas Cowboy as a whole. Like they, I don't know, and I was highly disappointed with that game. I don't even think they should have won, but they did. Luckily, it was the Giants.
I wasn't disappointed in that game. I mean,
I
I'm
was.
talking about NFL players here. You know what I'm saying, that we playing against. It's not like we playing against a high school team. And you say you don't care about rivals, dude. They play you more. They play you more times than anybody else that we play against. They know how you play. You know what I'm saying?
Dad,
It's gonna be that
Dad,
way, regardless.
nah,
Even in
not those
reality.
Giants. Nah, they
Look,
were
look.
Dad. They were down. I don't know how many offensive linemen. So the offensive lineman that normally plays us, that knows us, I get that. But they were mad injured at the defensive line. They were mad injured in the secondary, right? So I don't. To me, if they had their starters and their starters were playing us because they're used to playing us, but no, you have backups in there playing our starters for the most part.
They're
So
still
it's like, yeah,
they're still NFL players. I get what you're saying. But it all depends on who you playing against and what they set up to play. Look, we make it seem like I would never look at the way we play the Vikings and think that's who we're gonna play against at all time. I get you. We played a perfect game. Do I believe we're gonna ever play a game like that again? I highly doubt it. That's something
see, that's sad.
I'm looking at
Look,
reality. We are not gonna play.
Dad, no, dude, no,
How many
look.
teams have you ever seen through a season play
I'm
a
not saying
perfect
that we're
game
gonna put up
every game?
no. I'm not saying we're gonna put up 40-3.
Oh no, I'm not even.
Going forward on
I'm not
every
talking.
other team.
I'm not talking
What
about
I'm saying
offensively.
is, what I'm saying is, we're going to do the recipe for our success. Run Zeke and Pollard and get Pollard into the receiving game as well. Make smart football decisions as a head coach as it pertains of when to go for it on fourth down and when not to go it on fourth down. Don't throw the ball more than 35, 30 times because in the first half, it looked like Dak was about to throw a 40 burger, not a 40 burger, for 40 attempts. That's what I'm talking about, the structure of how they go about executing the game plan.
So
I
so you
think they're
say
too inconsistent in that.
okay, so you say that fourth down they went for was what 4th and 2, and we ran the ball. Are you saying that was not a good play?
I'm saying that whole series wasn't a good play. Like the
Uh,
whole series leading up to that point wasn't smart football.
okay, because
And then look, because I think it was 3rd and 2, and they threw it, and so they threw it to Gallup, and Dak was just off, right? And so in my head, it's 3rd and 2, and I'm like, why are you not going to run it with Zeke in 3rd and 2 or Pollard? Why would you
because
not?
because if
If
you
you
got
just,
because you got Zeke in the background and he was moving the ball. It's not like Zeke wasn't playing. He still almost ran 100 yards yesterday. It wasn't like he wasn't moving the line. I could understand that play.
but up to
And
that,
then you're talking about the
wait,
interception.
no, wait, Dad, no. You're saying that because you know what happens afterwards. This is the first series of the game. This is so
Oh, you're talking about
look, I
that
can
first
tell you,
series.
yeah, the first
Okay,
series of the game where they
okay.
had the turnover on downs that led to 3 points for the Giants. That's what I'm talking about. They came out with that. So when they came out like that, I was already in the mindset, okay, I know what we're doing today. We're going back to playing how we played versus Green Bay. That's how we're playing. That's how I felt when coming into that game. I was like, man, okay, I see what they're doing now. Because
You
So
talking
Dallas
about
come out and
offensively though? You talking about
yes,
strictly
I'm
on
talking
offense?
offensively.
Okay, all right.
it's the tell of two halves, right? So the first half was Green Bay, right? Second half Vikings. I mean, that's pretty much what it is, right? And I believe, right, that the Cowboys can clean those up, right? Because a lot of these penalties on our this is not like our finished product, right? So while Dak's the type of person that needs reps, right? And I can say that.
He not got enough reps. Go ahead.
Yeah,
And this is why I say this.
he's got enough reps.
This is why I
That
say
dude
this, right?
is.
Look,
I
we
understand
all
that.
said that Dak played. We all said that Dak played one of his. I said one of his best games, but other people are saying Dak played his best game ever versus the Vikings.
He didn't
So
play a
to
bad
me,
game yesterday.
No, he did not play his best game
that
versus
first half
Vikings.
was a bad
So
game.
this
He
is
nah, he
this is
did
what
not. He did not play a
this
bad
is
game
what I'm
yesterday.
saying.
That first half wasn't a bad game.
No, he was hitting Gallup in his pocket. Gallup pulled so many. Did y'all not watch the first game? Come on now, the
I
first
did watch
half. Gallup was
The
man. He
first
was
half?
throwing the first half.
Oh,
Did you see them
The
put them,
first half of the Packers. I mean, wait, the first half of
yesterday?
the Giants.
Yes.
yes.
Did you not see
No,
that
he was
game?
not. He was not accurate.
What in the world? What game was you guys
Yeah.
watching?
Okay,
Gallup got
yeah.
most of his
This is what I'm about to
passes and
This
CD
is
in
what
the
I'm about
first
to say
half.
here. Tell me
What in
this.
the world?
Tell me this. How many times did Michael Gallup had to jump, arms extended, and getting on a crossing route? How many times?
You can't
First
say
half.
jump. Could Gallup have a problem of jumping to no? How many times I keep on telling you Gallup jump when he don't have to?
This is
How
not-
many
this is
times I
not
say that? That's what he do. He jump when he don't have to jump.
I understand that. Hear me out.
Well, you
Hear me
can't
out.
say how many times did he jump because that's what he
I
do.
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But this is not him jumping it and hitting him in the chest. This is him jumping, arms extended, and catching it above his head. Like that ball was those. About I could say about.
Did he catch it?
Michael Gallup.
Did he catch it?
Yeah. Yes.
Did he put it where he's
Look,
supposed to?
This was our first drive. This was our first
But
drive.
no, but he's saving Dak Prescott a couple of times because I mean those balls were a little high.
Save.
It wasn't as accurate as was him in the Vikings, and this is the reason why I said that he needs reps. Right? The reason why I said he needs reps, I'm saying during practice, there was not that many times during practice. So you had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like right after the game. You probably only had like maybe one day of practice to instill like what your offense is going to be, as opposed to a couple of.
But we already know what the offense is supposed to be and should be. It should be run heavy.
Yeah,
It
I
should be
agree to
run
that.
heavy
I agree to
and play
that.
off the run.
I get what you're saying. I mean,
But Josh,
this is
look, hold on. Let me tell you.
Before
Before you get to your point, let me tell you what we did on that first series. Okay,
we get
it was CD Lamb. It was CD Lamb to the right. He ran 12 yards. Okay, then it was an 8-yard pass, shotgun to Lamb. Then there was a pass incomplete, Dak Prescott. Then there was another pass incomplete to Michael Gallup, Dak Prescott. Then we ran for it on fourth and 2 turnover on downs. That was our first series. Our second series, we started running it, and then Zeke picked up 15 yards. Then boom, we got a penalty. Then we threw the ball, got a 13-yard to Ferguson, right? Then we ran it again, 10-yard run by Elliott, right? And then boom, pick, interception. But you see what the success is. Zeke, 15 yards. Zeke, another 10 yards.
I think during the
But
second.
they get away from that.
I don't know. It seemed to me that the passer was just as effective. What you just said just a while ago.
So
what you just read.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate here, right?
To who?
Everybody
in that drive, there was only one pass that was.
I understand. Everybody. No. Okay, this is my devil's advocate here. Is that I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm pretty sure what went on Kellen Mond said. I'm not Kellen Mond said, but some people said it's like, all right, we complained about Scott Linehan when they were like, well, everybody knows what we're going to do. Everybody knows that we're going to always run. We got to switch it up. We got to switch it up. We got to switch it up.
They got to stop us.
Who said that? Who complained about that? If they complained about that, then they're not real Cowboys. They're not real Cowboy fans understanding our strengths.
People complained about Scott Linehan because everybody said that they were predictable, right?
So
that they were predictable,
stop us.
And that's the reason why.
That's what my issue is. We're predictable. Okay, it's how are you predictable?
But
everybody in their hold on. Everybody and their moms know we're gonna run. That's fine. I don't mind being that predictable. My problem is predictable is everybody and their moms know that we're gonna run, and everybody and their moms know that we're gonna run up the middle on this play. It's the nuances of the scheming of run plays that you're scheming. I don't care if we're gonna be predictable. Yeah, we know Dallas is gonna run the ball. Yeah, everybody knows he's gonna run the ball. But you gotta scheme the runs to get the looks, to get the holes for your guys. That's coaching.
I mean, that's what they did. That's what they did in the first play, right? Did they not do that in the first play?
The first play to CD, yes.
Okay, second play.
They threw the ball.
You ran the ball on first down again.
Yes.
It's hindsight 2020. It's hindsight 2020.
Hindsight
right?
2020. No.
Those trick plays, they could take that back and put in their book. I don't know who draw those trick plays. Those dumb.
Because when I saw CD Lamb do that, I was like, man, I was lucky CD picked up and got 12 yards. But I don't want to see CD Lamb
coming out of the backfield.
Why would I want to see that when I have two, if not three good backs? Because Davis can run a little bit too. So why would I want to see that when I have Pollard and Zeke and Pollard who can hit you at any moment for 20 yards. And Zeke, anytime he gets in the red zone, can hit his head on the goalpost. So why would I sit here and to me, Dak should every downs from 1 to 3, Dak should be throwing the ball one time. You should give him one shot to throw the ball. It should be run, run, throw, or throw,
Well,
run, run.
well,
That's how I see it.
yeah, I don't.
Or whatever whatever's going on.
I think we more versatile than that. You know what I'm saying? But I think we more versatile than just to him throwing this one time. We got way more weapons, than to that. But I do say we a run strong team. But that offset, I'm not agreeing to that.
Say weapons. When you say weapons, right? So the only weapon I see that like Tony Pollard's weapon, Zeke's kind of a weapon, and then yes, and hear me out because he's not consistent as he should be.
I think our weapon. I think our best player.
Pollard.
I think our best player right now is playing running back, and I think our second best player right now is playing running back.
Yes,
that's why I think the running back core as a whole is better. Is our weapon.
Look, and this is the reason why. As good as CeeDee Lamb is, right? As good as he's good with like these one-handed catches, these play real great like that, right?
Get his feet in on one of those.
Route. That's another discussion in itself. But the thing is this: is that there's a reason why the Cowboys are trying to get OBJ, right? There's too many contested balls right now. I mean, Dak is having to fit it in small windows, right?
CeeDee Lamb seemed like he was getting open a lot. He wouldn't. Gallup was really tight, but not CeeDee. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going.
I feel like that. Yeah, CeeDee, this game got open a lot, but CeeDee also he'll give you. This is the thing with CeeDee. CeeDee's just as inconsistent as anybody else on that offense. Is he'll give you a stupid big play when you're like, yeah, that's how you play at the number one receiver. And then he'll give you straight up plays where he dropped that pass that Dak took a hit on and put it right in his pocket and just dropped it.
But do you guys realize that it was somebody in Dak's face almost every throw? And nobody's saying that about that line. Everybody's still saying that line is good because it was completion.
My second part, right? And as
look, you want to know how you don't have to worry about people pressuring Dak in his face? Run the ball.
Nah.
I mean,
that's making everybody force us to be one way. We better than that. Yeah. So no, I disagree.
Sometimes,
but I think we should be running the ball, and Dak should only have 25 attempts. That's how I feel.
You guys are in disagreement with me vehemently. I'm going to tell you this.
Go ahead.
Tyler Smith, right, is a good tackle for a rookie, right?
I think he's a great tackle for a rookie.
He's not a great tackle. He's a solid tackle, and we saw that in multiple games, right? I mean,
I think he's a look. If we're talking about rookies, if we're talking about rookie left tackles. If we're talking about rookie left tackles, I think Tyler Smith is a great left rookie tackle. You asking this rookie who is not even playing, who wasn't even playing left tackle coming into the season until Tyron Smith got hurt, and you asking him to move to guard? Yes,
he deserves his kudos. He deserves his kudos.
Right on year one. This is just year one. He might mess around and even make a Pro Bowl.
But
yes. There's not that many good tackles around the league in the NFC.
I don't know about that.
I can tell you multiple.
But go ahead, Josh.
Left tackles in the NFC.
I can tell you multiple tackles.
I could tell you most of them too, and I could tell you, Dallas has been eating on all of them.
That's Dallas because they have a great front four.
Hey.
They have a substantial front four. But I will say this though: when Tyron Smith comes back. That job is his.
I still don't know about that.
Why?
I still don't know about that.
Why,
because
are we preparing for the future? Are we preparing for the? Are we preparing for the postseason?
Look, that's my thing. Like, if you tell me if Tyron Smith is going to come back right now in November and not December, then I would say, yeah, let him come back in December or in November and get the starts. But we're talking about in December him coming back. Look, Josh, you're the one that earlier in the year you were preaching. You need preseason. You need all these game reps.
And he's going
So
to need.
you want to put in a guy
Yeah.
who has had no game reps, who's probably out of shape in terms of
Mm-mm.
football game shape. You want to put him in and start him.
Right.
I'd rather if you want to move uh Smith to guard and put Peters out there, I'm fine with that because Peters been rocking.
Tell me
He's
when.
been
Tell
here
me
the whole
when.
time.
Look, Tyler Smith has been serviceable, but tell me when Tyron
This is
Smith.
more serviceable.
Tell me when Tyron Smith has got hurt and then came back in the game and he was just bad. Tyron Smith is one of those guys. He's been in the league for so long.
There was a couple of times that Tyron Smith last year coming from injury looked.
He only needs
like,
a couple of. He only needs a couple of games to get back into the swing of things, and that's
I don't
all
know.
you need. That's if you need get
If that's
4 games.
Look, if that's what you banking on to make us good, I don't know. I'm not.
4
I'm
games.
not putting.
4 games, and he'll be ready.
You put
4
money on that?
Yes. 4
Well,
games.
when is Tyron Smith supposed to be back? You saying he needs 4 games? That's a lot. That's a lot of games.
That's not a lot of games.
4 games on the end of the season?
Yeah, that's December. What are you talking about? That's December.
That's a lot of games.
There's 17 games this year.
I know that. I'm saying
That's okay. And we're talking about being ready for the postseason, right? Or wrong? You tell me.
I'm
Tommy
look,
Smith.
look
Tommy
the way
Smith-
look. We
Jordan,
had Tony
Tommy
Romo
Smith.
sit on the bench and said, "Hey man, it is what it is."
The Cowboys
I'm
are
saying the
very
same
good.
thing.
The Cowboys are very good at this. They're very
And
good
Tony
at
Romo came back way earlier than December.
They're very good at putting the best players on the field, right? That's why Tyler Smith is at left tackle and Jason Peters is the backup. Because at this point right now, Tyler Smith is a better tackle than Jason
I don't think
Peters.
so. I think the reason they did that is because they didn't know how good. I think they did that is because they didn't know how good Tyler Smith was going to be at left tackle.
I
Because
can tell you this.
if we would have had Jason Peters on the roster before week 1, you telling me that he wouldn't be starting right now
If we had Jason Peters win,
in the off season on the roster,
no.
he wouldn't start.
No.
You lied.
No.
You,
No. No. How old is
They
Jason
would have
Peters?
left Tyler Smith at
How old is
guard. Like,
Jason Peters is a 40-year-old tackle. No.
So
No.
so what you're saying,
Josh,
Jordan? So
Josh,
Jordan, are you
you
saying
just-
are you saying Tyler Smith is not better than Peterson right now today? That's
yeah,
what
right
you-
now today, if I had to go play football this Sunday, I'm saying no, I'm not. I'm gonna let you rest, big dog, and maybe we can, if we
Let
could
who
chalk it up.
rest? Let who rest?
Tyron.
No.
we're
I'm talking about you're talking about
Tyler-
Jason Peterson and Tyler Smith.
Oh yeah, because we saw it last week versus the Vikings, and we sat there and said, "Man, I don't know. Peters was better at guard."
So
than
what Joshua was saying,
Josh.
Joshua was saying that the only reason Tyler Smith is out there without Peterson is because Tyler Smith is better than Peterson right now. That's what he's saying. Today.
Not all. No, I'm talking. This is Jason
Look,
Peters.
And look, and see, this is where I'd be like, that sounds like contradiction. Because
What?
if that's the case, you're telling me this rookie who's is out playing a Pro Bowl, maybe potentially.
Only thing we can say is yes. That's just like the rookie Parson coming in beating all these reds because that boy is bad. It ain't because he's a rookie, because he played really well. That's why he's out there. It ain't because he's a rookie, because he can play.
He's a rookie,
But he can play.
Well, rookie left tackle, he's solid. He's
Jason-
serviceable.
Is Jason
But
Peters?
you got a whole Pro Bowler who
Wow.
was solid, who played last year and was solid, who was more
Solid.
than
Right.
solid
So
last
is
year.
Jason Peters in 2022 a Pro Bowler? In 2022, if Jason Peters played 17 games, is he going to the Pro Bowl? If you can't say yes, then that's what.
Ask me what you said again. Last year he did not go to a Pro Bowl, no, but he was rated
Okay,
pretty
so
high on Pro
that
Football
explains
Focus,
my
wasn't he?
point. That explains my point even more. That explains my point even more. Jason Peters, as good as he is a very solid tackle at this point. He's not the Jason Peters of 2016, 2015, 2014. It is 2022. He is a 40-year-old tackle. Some people said that he shouldn't even be going, but like we were hurting that much on tackle. The Dallas Cowboys were hurting that much on tackle, right? Because they had to get. That's why they had to get Jason Peters because.
If he was on our roster from the beginning of the training camp, he would be starting. I don't believe none of that. They would have kept Tyler. They would because he would have been Tyron Smith's backup. So he would have got all them reps. He would have been in game shape because that was the problem. And then you wouldn't have had him playing.
No, he was in game shape. He was in game shape. It's not like he came from the bench. He was playing. He came from one field to the other field. Peterson.
No, he didn't. That's what you're talking about. He came off the couch.
He off the couch.
But
I thought he just came back from what the team he got from?
No.
Raiders?
He was on a team. He wasn't on a team.
He wasn't on a team. He played, but he wasn't on a team. He was a free agent. He was sitting on his couch. Tyron Smith got injured week 1, and then boom, they asked him to come and play. So they signed him, and after they signed him, he said, "I'm not in game shape. I won't be able to play till like." He didn't even get on the field till like week 5.
Their intentions was this. Their intentions was Tyron Smith.
Their intentions was they didn't know how good Tyron Smith was until he played.
Let me talk. Their intentions was Tyron Smith got hurt, right? And so they knew that Tyler Smith was going to go to the left side, right? But they knew that.
Wait, hold on. Side note. Look,
okay,
they knew.
You gotta let him talk. No, you can't. But you're stopping him. But you're stopping him right in the middle of his comment. But you're stopping him in the middle. But it's funny. But you're stopping him.
Josh missed the point. Josh missed the point.
Okay, let him talk.
Look. You forgot about your favorite left tackle though, Ball. Okay, go ahead.
As Jordan was saying, Josh Ball, and then this other person, I forgot his name, was like, well, let's go, or something like that. They were not good at all. So they need somebody to be in place of Tyler Smith, just in case either A, Tyler Smith wasn't good at tackle, or B, Tyler Smith got hurt. Jason Peters' role was not to be the starting left tackle. His role was to be the backup just in case of either A, he got hurt, or B, that the role was too much. We figured that Tyler Smith was serviceable, right? But so that way we didn't need to have Jason Peters, a person that's past his prime, to be the starting tackle. I don't think the expectation was for a Pro Bowler to be in place for Tyler Smith, because if the expectation was Jason Peters is a Pro Bowl ready, there was been a bunch of other teams that would have got Jason Peters. And that's my thing to it. If he was a Pro Bowler, other teams would have got him because the Cowboys are not paying them that much money. That's all I'm saying.
So when Tyron Smith come back, y'all keeping him on the bench. See, I don't know. I seriously don't think that Tyler Smith. I think in practice they figured out that Tyler Smith was better than Peterson. That's why he's on the roster. I hear what you're saying, that he was there all the time, but hopefully you would think that putting a better person on the squad is the better person on the squad. Oh, I'm about to lose my battery here. I believe the outplayed
because if it's what you're saying, if it's what you're saying, what's better for the team, right? What looks better, what makes us a better team, then you would definitely move Smith to guard and put and then you would put Peterson at left tackle. It's just I don't know what's so hard about it. Everybody else can see that. Because the guard that we have right now playing guard, nobody wants him at guard. That's why every time we see Peterson come in the game, or when we saw the Viking game where Peterson moved to left tackle and Smith moved to guard, and it looked good. It looked really good, and that on paper would look way better than what they had out yesterday on paper, and what we saw, the little glimpses that we saw. But for whatever reason, and maybe it's because okay, well if Tyron Smith comes back, we're just gonna put him out there and move him in the guard, which I don't think is a recipe for success. I don't look. This might be Tyron Smith's last season, right? Why would you want to go then? Because to me, I would say Tyron Smith, right? I would say hang it up, big dog, rest, get
This is
get ready
last
for
season.
next season, and get ready for next season, and let that be your last season, right? But
No.
It's funny. It's
Okay,
funny. It's
all
funny.
right,
That's
no.
what I was saying.
All right,
That's what I was saying in the beginning
all
of
right.
the season. I was saying that too. I was saying that Tyron. Remember, I was saying that Tyron Smith is causing us to lose a really good left tackle because that dude never wanted to retire. I think he should have retired. But you guys were telling
Yes,
me that but you guys were telling me that
no, no, no,
Tyron Smith
no, no, no,
he's
no,
a
no.
Pro Bowler. He's supposed to be out there.
Yes, but no. You were saying that Tyron Smith should have known better, should have known that Jerry Jones wasn't going to kick him to the curb and he should just retire. And I said, no, that's Jerry Jones' fault. He should have seen the writing on the wall and went on ahead and drafted a Tyler Smith 3 4 years ago. That's what I said.
I still saying the same thing. In a sense, I
Right?
said Tyler
You're
Smith.
saying
I
you
said
put
Tyler
it on.
Smith. I was saying I was saying he should have. Go ahead.
Let me ask you two questions at this point, and then if I'm not talking about next year, right? I'm just talking about if in a vacuum, right? If you only had this 1 year to win the Super Bowl, who would you rather have at left tackle? At this point right now, Tyron Smith or Tyler Smith?
I'm still saying Tyrone Smith.
I'm gonna say Tyler. I'm gonna say
Tyron, right?
Tyler.
I'm saying
I'm gonna
Tyron.
say Tyler.
Why? So you're saying Tyler Smith is a better left tackle at this point than Tyron Smith?
No,
How can you? Yes, because the
no.
dude is injured. The dude is coming off of an injury. It's not like he's healthy. He's injured, Josh. You gonna tell me you gonna put a you gonna tell me you gonna put a Kevin Durant, an injured Kevin Durant. I'm gonna use Kevin Durant as a scenario. You gonna put an injured Kevin Durant, tell him, hey, go out there and make plays for us, and then he pulls his Achilles tendon, and now you ain't got him for a whole season.
No, I'm saying Tyron Smith.
Exactly. That's my point.
I'm saying Tyron Smith is not injured anymore.
Okay,
That's what I'm
sure. If you can guarantee me that Tyron Smith is 100% ready to go in football shape too, and ain't gonna go out there and pull something else because he's just coming off an injury.
Look,
then I
you can't guarantee the Tyler Smith
Exactly.
thing. You
That's my
can't
point.
guarantee
Y'all over here making
no.
it seem like-
No, I'm saying you can't guarantee the Tyler Smith ain't gonna pull something next game. You can't. Tyler Smith. You cannot guarantee that he will not get hurt the next game.
I will put money on it. I will put money on it.
You put money
If
that
they
he
said-
won't
if
get
there was
hurt.
a betting line and said if there's a betting line and
You
said,
put money that he will not
who
get
you think
hurt.
will get injured? Who's more likely to get injured next game? Tyler Smith or Tyron Smith? I'm gonna put my money on Tyler Smith every single time.
My point is that would not be my
So
question.
both are-
I would never oppose that question.
Both are equally healthy. Who are you putting on the field?
If they're equally healthy, yes, I'm putting Tyron Smith out there. But they're not equally healthy.
That's my point. That's my point.
But that's not the point though, because you said
Do you know that he's not completely healthy, Jordan?
I don't know that he is or isn't. I'm
I'm just trying to say. I'm just trying to figure out how would you make that big statement if you don't even know if the guy could this say he's
Why we
healthy.
acting like he's not injured? Why we acting like he hasn't been injured since week 1?
That dude been injured since he been in the league. If you ask me, but he still come out and ball.
One thing I can tell you about the Cowboys is as of late, they will wait till a player's 100% healthy, right? I.e., let's look at Dak Prescott, right? Dak Prescott was he wanted to come in multiple games early. What did they do? No, let's wait. Let's wait another week. Nope. Not this week. Nope. The Eagles game. Nope. He's like, I'm ready. Nope. You're going to sit, right? And they didn't let him sit that week. And then even they had a bye week. Like, you're coming.
But we was winning, though.
Exactly. That's the difference. We were winning. Because I ain't trying to hear all that. Because we've seen it too many times. What these NFL teams do when they losing. When their backup quarterback is losing, What do?
Yeah, we winning.
Look at Jimmy Garoppolo. They don't want Jimmy Garoppolo to come out because they didn't want him in the first place.
Okay.
But then
That's because they stupid.
Injured.
That's because they
Starter got
stupid.
injured.
I guarantee you, even if we win this next, if the Cowboys win the next game and even the game after that.
Because hold on. Look, this is how I know. This is how I know you don't believe that, and this is how I know I don't believe that because Jerry Jones said that a 6-week surgery that Dak was going to be out for 6 weeks. That's what the report was. Jerry Jones came on and told everybody, nah, he's going to be back in 4 weeks. That's what he said.
Yeah. Okay. I want you to stay on that. I want you to stay on that.
And then look. Hold on. And then look. You started winning, and then we started winning games with Cooper Rush, and then after we start winning with Cooper Rush, Jerry Jones gonna be like, well, I think we got a quarterback controversy.
Okay. And so when did Dak Prescott come back? Week what? Week 8?
Well, I don't know what week that was.
Week 7 or week 8, right? So back to my point, the Dallas Cowboys are still winning our football games. So if and when he comes back, we would know that the Cowboys view Tyron Smith as a better offensive tackle than Tyler Smith. And if Tyler Smith is going to move to left guard.
I can
believe that. I don't believe that. Even if they do that, I don't believe that. Because we still have the best running back and the best player on offense coming off the bench. So I don't believe that. I don't believe what you said, the logic that they will do. I don't believe in your logic that they're going to put the best people out there. No, they're not.
Have they not been
just going to keep Zeke starting because he's a $90 million quarterback and Pollard is still on a rookie contract.
Okay.
I don't believe in what you're saying. So if they want to put Tyron Smith out there because Tyron Smith is a vet and been there since day one, and it's a feel-good story. Okay.
Tony Pollard out there. They're saying that Tony Pollard can't get that many reps as Zeke will get, right? Or not Zeke. Tony Pollard will be more exposed if he has more reps, and that's why they're splitting it off, right? That's why they're splitting it off.
Yeah, that's what you believe too?
I mean, that's why they're splitting it off. I'm
saying now you're making excuses for this.
I'm not making excuses. That's what they said. That's literally what the running backs coach said. That's literally verbatim what he said.
Okay, but do you believe that, Josh? But with your eyes and your knowledge, do you believe that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Live and die by the sword. Okay.
Okay, but look, check this out. So say that. So
I think that 15 to 20 reps for Tony Pollard is excellent. I'm like, if it's not broken, I don't like. Once
I like the split. I like the split what he's doing right now. I don't see no problem with what they're doing in the run defense. I mean run game right now.
Who cares what in the future it is? I say right now that you have 2 running backs, put them exactly like they have right now. You get the best of both worlds.
I'm okay with that.
They'll last longer to the postseason. If you want to get rid of Ezekiel Elliott after this year,
I said nothing about getting rid of Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay,
I said is my point is that we can clearly see who's the better running back at this stage of their careers, right? We can clearly see it. We come on here and say it all the time, man. Zeke.
I mean, okay.
Look, this is how much people cape for Zeke. This is how much people cape for Zeke. The reason that people say, well, we can't put Pollard in because Pollard can't pass block. That's what we gotta go to. That's what we gotta go to justify why Zeke still gets to start. But when it's been clear with Zeke's the past 2 games, and you saw the run game was great, if not just as good, if not better, when Zeke is back there. I don't mind Zeke getting split the carries either, but I still think Pollard should be featured way more than he is. Yeah, you can split the carries 15-15, but I still think you should incorporate Pollard in receiving plays as well.
Okay, but check this out.
I think that's what they're doing now.
They didn't do it last game.
I think that's what they're doing.
They did that. The only time they've done that was during the Vikings game where we saw it. Zeke is back. Pollard is back. Pollard, we're going to feature him a majority of time in offense. They did
Because
not do
that's what
that
the
last
game
night.
called
But check
for.
this out.
That's what the game called for.
Okay, but check this
That's what the
out.
game called for.
Okay, but check this out. I know you say the only thing that they can say that Zeke blocked better. Before I go to my next topic, I can tell you this: this past game against the Giants, Pollard was doing some serious pass blocking. That dude was getting in
Yeah, he
there,
was.
and I was
He was.
like,
He
wow, that boy
He was
is putting his body into it. Yes, he was
Yeah.
doing some serious stuff, and it's good because we talking about that offensive line. Dak Prescott was not getting that much time, bro, because people was in his face, and the throws that that dude was doing, even though it was in his face, was to me, he was playing really good ball. I know people are like, oh, no. And even that interception, I don't really want to say that was Dak's problem because there's sometimes, believe it or not, there's sometimes
Both of them.
No,
Actually,
no,
yeah.
the one, no, they bounced off the defensive and the guy caught it in the back. The first one, I'm talking about the first one, the defensive stepped in front of the ball. I'm talking about that one. The second one is obviously not Dak Prescott fault because that's the one hit CD Lamb and the defender, and it bounced back behind him. It bounced back to
but you don't think he shouldn't have not even thrown that ball though? So even though
He throws that ball all the time.
look, man. Sometimes, believe it or not, sometimes defense can make a good play. It's not always an interception just because he wasn't playing aggressive enough to throw it or to that side, or he shouldn't have thrown it at all. Just sometimes, man, the defenses make a play. We're not talking about high school balls all the time. That was just a good step, an initial step. When we're talking about Diggs catching all them interceptions, we never say, oh, the quarterback sucked that up. Diggs ain't had to do nothing for that. No. Sometimes Diggs makes a real good.
About some of his picks, not all his picks.
But the one just yesterday, I believe it was a really good defense. Defensive. He cut it off, and to say he should have seen that, I'm sure hindsight, like maybe I shouldn't have thrown that. But that's hindsight. Everybody sees stuff in hindsight.
But that's the difference between throwing a good ball and not throwing a good ball. Is having the judgment to say
even if you can throw a good ball. Sometimes defenses make a play.
I'm saying like the corner, because if you go back, the corner is literally on CD, right? And then there's already two safeties back, right? So yes, if that can fit it in there, good. But it's a 50-50 ball. Because if CD gets it, it's good. If the CD doesn't come down with it, it's gonna be bad. So my saying is, because I feel like he shouldn't have thrown it, or he should have just went somewhere else. But that's hindsight 50-50 after me seeing what I saw in the backfield.
How many times have we seen Dak do that and it's a completion now? I've seen that a lot of times. I actually think that the second one was a DPI as opposed to the first one. First one, I think if he had him and the receiver were off page. I know it was him that was throwing it, like he should have thrown a lot quicker and a little further. And I think that if that was the case, then he would have been good. I don't know.
He was throwing off his back foot, and he still got it there.
The second one was definitely a DPI that was not called. That was like a defensive pass interference when you're impeding on the court on the receiver before the ball is getting there. If he's doing that, then that's textbook defensive pass interference, right? Yeah. We can get into the point where should he have thrown the ball or whatever. Like I get what you're saying, but that was definitely a defensive pass interference. The first one, I think, what Dak thought was, hey, I got this guy off of a flag. It wasn't a flag, so I'm going to throw it right here, right? He shouldn't have done that. It should have definitely been like, hey, it's not a flag. Let me actually have a little better pass or a person that's a little bit more open than that, because that was like, hey, I see a cornerback running towards that, so why am I passing that? Especially when there's 7 defensive backs on the field. But we're not going to get to that point. The defensive pass interference, the second one was definitely defensive pass interference, right? And this is another reason why I'm preaching that we need another threat for the wide receivers, because you're always going to get these contested balls, no matter more often.
So you saying we should get? So you saying we need OBJ? That's what you breaking this segment into.
Yeah, to have a little bit of more separation. You're going to need somebody. I mean, look, there's almost no separation. Dak is having to fit it in holes more times than not. I mean, am I wrong?
That's what quarterback do.
I don't think so.
That's what quarterback do.
Think he had.
I mean, that's the game.
Do. But I don't think more than not he has to fit it in tight windows. I don't think so. I think the receiver.
Yesterday game he didn't. Prior he did.
The Vikings game neither. Mean, you think about that drop ball he gave to Pollard, I feel like 3 of those catches where he was just throwing this last game versus Giants. He threw Gallup open. Even the Vikings game too, where CD got off. There's a lot of balls in the middle of the field where CD was just boom. It was just right there in his pocket. I don't think there were necessarily tight windows between DBs. I don't think so. And even the tight end throws, like when Schultz first came back, and we low key thought that Schultz's leg was about to get torn apart, but Dak put it over his shoulder right into his hand. So I don't necessarily think that I don't think we need another receiver because Dak has to fit all these balls into tight windows because his receivers are getting too much coverage, or the coverage is too tight and they can't get separation. I think we need another receiver because his receiver core is average, and sometimes it plays above average at times. And the reason that is because we let Cooper go, so now we need somebody who demands respect in the receiving core, and that's Odell Beckham. That's why I think we need him.
Which opens it up for other players. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're not getting separation like they should be getting prior to like last year. If you tell me that they're getting the same amount of separation that they got last year, then maybe I'm not looking at the same game. Like maybe I'm not looking at like the same thing that you guys are looking at, because I don't see that much separation as they had like last year, right? And that was
but I'm not seeing like but it might not be like last year, but it wasn't like years before we had Amari Cooper either, where nobody was getting open. Like these guys are still getting. Because look, last year it was like 5 yards. Receivers were like 5 yards open, but this year it might not be 5 yards, but it might be just 2 yards. I've seen them get
2017. Open. That was just a horrible.
But that's my point. Like they're nowhere near that. These receiving cores nowhere near that.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying between 2007. I mean, if you had to put 2017 and 2021, right? I would say, right, they're a little closer to 2017. They're not as bad as 2017. 2017.
I don't think they're nowhere near as bad as 2017.
No, they're not as bad, but they're closer to 2000. If I had to put it like,
I don't think they're close.
If 2000 and 2021 is a far end, they're not closer to 2021. I think they're a little closer to 2017.
I don't, because I think CD is, as much as I don't think he's a number one yet, I think he's a good number two. And I think Gallup at his stage of his career, he's a really good number two. He's a really good number two. And the fact that we have 2 different to 3 different tight ends that also get space at times, I don't think that this receiving core as a whole is that atrocious. Because that 2017 was atrocious. Like, it was just bad. But, yeah, you're not going to see, for one, none of them demand a double coverage, and none of them demand...
I'm still listening. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the game. Keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah, that's it. That was my last point.
That they don't demand a double coverage. All right. So, like, I do agree with that. I do agree that the fact that they don't demand a double coverage, which if they did demand a double coverage, right, it will be a lot more open, right? But CeeDee Lamb is not taking a double coverage, right? Most of the game. I would say some games. I mean, towards the end, if he's going off, yes. But I don't think the rest of the NFL respects him enough to, like, hey, we're going to, like, give you a double coverage, and that opens it up for, like, guys like Michael Gallup or even like a Noah Brown, right? I'm looking at a lot. I'm like looking at these now. Granted, it is the highlights now. Now, granted, it's not the whole game because I'm just looking at it now. A lot of these catches are like they're. I'm not saying that it's like super tight where it's like the cornerbacks in their back pocket, right? But these are like maybe a cornerback's like maybe 1 yard, like a half a yard off, right? And so like it's still pretty close where they're not as separate as they used to be. And now, granted, it's the NFL.
But you're
Right?
saying separate as they used to be. This is the same receiving core outside of Amari Cooper as last year. That's what I'm saying. The only reason we had so much separation is because Amari at times demanded doubles, and at times Amari was such a great route runner that he boosted our the stat that they came out with, saying how much the separation that the Dallas Cowboy had. So he inflated that stat because he was getting his yards of getting open was more than the average receiver. So I don't think that this receiving core is bad. Like I said, I think this receiving core is like a
It's
C
not
plus.
bad. It's average.
It's a C plus receiving core to me.
That's average.
Yeah, but at times it can
Are you
it can
talking
play
about
up to a B.
right?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but right now you think is right now you still think is even from yesterday's game. Did way they played yesterday? Give me a letter grade of where you think our receiving core played yesterday.
I'm with Jordan.
I think they did like a B minus.
C plus. Oh, B minus because Amari Cooper kind of went off. So like around that plus B minus. Yeah, about that.
Because I take it as a whole.
C plus.
Because I take it as a whole. I add in the tight ends into that receiving core.
Yeah,
and
well, tight ends is a receiving core.
And then you'll have like
so that's why I'm saying a B minus, if not B. Because look what those tight ends do in the red zone. They hit their head on the goalpost, so they're getting separation. They're being schemed well. Maybe
that's like Kellen Moore's like Brett. I feel like Kellen Moore's better.
Dak too. Dak just has a knack of getting the ball to the tight ends in great space. Yeah, and Kellen Moore has a good knack of scheming the tight ends open. But that to me, and a lot of the times you see the tight ends get the ball, they by themselves majority of the time. So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't necessarily think they don't get separation. I just don't think they get as much separation because nobody demands a double team. But at the end of the day, if you're getting man to man, you should be able to beat your man.
And this is why I still think that, and this is furthermore the reason why I think Dak Prescott is playing elite right now, because of the fact that how the balls where he's placing it at is just unreal, right? The second half was like elite Dak, right? First half was like average Dak, right? Which is not horrible, but it's not great.
No, if that half ends, we lose the game. It was what was it, 10 or 13? It was 13 to 3. No, 13 to 7. 13-7.
In the first
half, we lose that game.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it. We don't have just a 1.5 game.
But I'm saying he was saying like, no, that was bad. That was a really bad half.
So you saying Dak Prescott played really bad the first half?
I'm saying the overall offensive team, from coaching staff to players, played bad. I'm not blaming it all on Dak. That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is the coaching staff was the head coach.
I get what you're saying. I'm just
saying
all
that was horrible.
I'm saying, it's semantics at this point, but I'm just saying the second half, Dak was playing elite, right? And I think that's furthermore the reason why, holistically speaking, that Dak Prescott is playing at an elite level since I won't say since he's got back, but from that first game on, from the third quarter on, from the first game that he got back, he's been playing at an elite level. I think, right? I mean, his
I think too, because look, I think that way too. I think the second half, yes, they played way better. But to me, they went back to what they do really good. This is run the ball and then throw. Because when they came out, it was a run and then another run And then look, it was a 1 yard run, a 5 yard run, then a 16 yard run, then a 13 yard run, and then a 3 yard run. And then to me, they got back in the rhythm of let's run to then throw. Let's play off the run. And to
You
me,
don't have
that's what we do well.
you don't have the offense like you did last year to like go on air rated offense. You just don't.
But I don't even think we need to do that.
Exactly.
We showed we could beat the brakes off one of the best teams in the NFC with the receiving core that we had.
Your offense right now is dictated off the run. You have to play off the run. This offense right now is suited mainly for the run because you have Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, right?
And the O-line that plays great in the run.
Right. Your run blocking is playing, I won't say lights out, but they're playing substantially better run blocking, which pretty much most teams are.
Look, even the tight ends are great run blockers.
Except for Dalton.
I forgot who it was. I think it was Schultz that knocked dude on his butt. Was that Schultz, right? Or who was it? Ferguson?
No, Schultz.
No, I'm talking about the Giants game. You didn't see that block down the field? I think it was Zeke going down the right side of the field.
There was a couple of times.
I gotta find that clip.
Something happened to your mic, Joshua.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you went something on us. I don't know what that you went.
So Schultz.
Whoa.
Schultz.
It sounded like a mechanic, like one of those animated cartoon character.
Hit mute and unmute. Hit mute and unmute.
All right, do I sound better?
Not really, but go ahead.
That's all right. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is that we're better suited. That Dalton Schultz, lost my train of thought. Dalton Schultz is not as good as run blocking as Ferguson and Henderson. I think we all agree with that.
No, but I'm just saying that he was run blocking great last night, and I'm saying our overall tight end core are good run blockers.
Right. So predicated, yes, I agree. Run blocking, yes. Pass blocking for Dalton Schultz, not so great as the other two. But
right.
That being said, your offense is predicated off the run at this point, right? So use the run to base your offense off, and you'll be successful enough to go the distance, right? I do believe though, when Tyron Smith comes back and Tyler Smith goes to guard, and if the Cowboys pick up OBJ, I think they can kill you either with the run and they can kill you with the pass, right? But right now, you have to establish the run. And that's the reason why, like, I'm agreeing with Jordan that they weren't as good as they should have been because they didn't establish the run in the first half. If they established the run in the first half, they would have been way more successful. And with that being said, if they establish the run, Dak Prescott plays elite. We've seen that. He plays elite.
Tell me this. Do you
per game?
Do you tell me that OBJ in the game, right? Defense double teaming him? Or no?
Yes.
I think in certain situations, yes and no.
Okay.
I think you get the mindset of the defense to look towards OBJ.
Yeah,
because
what you get with OBJ is not the separation; you get the attacking the football. Right.
So do that change the safety positioning if OBJ is on the right or left instead of cheating or whatever the case is, which in my thinking that it will open up even more opportunities for the run because now you can't cheat.
Either way, you can.
You're back.
Either way, you're doing a lot better. I mean, it's going to do.
And you're gone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
you're good. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Just keep talking. Talking.
It's going to do better. It's going to do better for the offense when multiple keys or multiple positions gets implemented to that offense, like your OBJ. If they take OBJ, if Tyron Smith comes back and then you put Tyler to left guard, because I do believe that Tyler
is definitely the best left guard that the Cowboys have right now, right? And I do believe Tyron Smith, right, if healthy, like Jordan, the predicate if Tyron's healthy, 100% healthy, yeah, Tyron Smith in there. If Tyron's not healthy, I'm with Jordan. Keep Tyler Smith, right? Because then that asset becomes a liability. You don't want a liability. So I think having those key places in there, you're going to open up the offense, and then you're going to have even more. You'll probably have, instead of 31 points per game, you'll have like 37 points per game, right? So, and it's more solid. And then you're playing to the defense strength, right? The defense loves attacking the quarterback, right? If you get to a lead, right, a substantial lead, unless if you're the Packers, right? If you have a substantial lead, the defense are going to start licking their chops, right? Because the best core of the team is the defensive line, and they've proven that, right? And we can talk about Anthony Brown later, right? But the best core of the team is the defensive line. So you do that, and it helps everybody else out, and that's what I believe. Get OBJ, get Tyron Smith, and then we're going the distance. I still think we can go the distance. The Cowboys can go the distance. I think it's more solidified when you get those two pieces back. Not back. Get those two pieces back. Two pieces into the offense.
Okay, I can agree to that.
Look, I can tell you this right now. It's fine if that's what you want, but look, your favorite place, PFF, has Tyron Smith. Oh wait, this is last year. Dang it, I ain't got it right. They had him at 7th last year, but this year
that's pretty good. 7th overall. That's really. Am I like lying? Is that bad?
That is definitely not bad.
So yeah, give me the number 7 overall tackle. Yes, put him in there
from last year.
What was Jason Peters? Not top 10. Got it.
This is not even valid. This is not just left tackles. This is tackles overall.
Okay, tackles overall. Tell me where Jason Peters was.
He's not on the list.
No,
he is. He's on the list. He's on the list.
Not this list. It's not showing that.
Damn.
Lael Collins. It doesn't even make sense because Lael Collins is on here, but it says Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, they put him on.
So I don't even know what I'm looking at now.
Oh, okay.
So it's just saying what their current team is, right? So basically, what I'm saying is put Tyron Smith there. Now, if Tyron Smith is not in practice, because they do a great job of implementing the offense into the practice. So if Tyron Smith is doing decent with that defensive line, and if Tyron Smith is playing on the scout team and they're playing with that defensive line and he's doing pretty well or he's doing decent, yeah, put him back at left tackle. Put Tyler Smith.
I need him to do a little better than decent though. But I feel you
against Dallas Cowboys. Against the Dallas Cowboys
front four. Yeah, because I just believe that Tyron Smith is, he Pro Bowler material, man. You're gonna have to do a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to make this work.
Who's doing great against the front four and pass blocking? Right. I'm just trying to figure out who's doing great against that.
Well, I could say Tampa Bay was, or not Tampa Bay, but Green Bay was the other day.
No, they weren't because they were doing run. They were not doing good against the run. They were running all over, not pass blocking. So
yeah, my boy Michael Parsons, he wasn't. Even though he did a lot of other things, he wasn't.
So all I'm saying is this: put him in there, and then you're going to be good to go. That's what I think. If he's
so now tell me this. Okay, so tell me this. Our next game is what? Indianapolis Colts?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's Indianapolis Colts, I think.
Based on that, what are you thinking about that game? Easy W, cakewalk.
No, no, no.
You think we're gonna lose that game?
No game at this point is a cakewalk. Sorry.
Okay, I agree. I'm glad you said that, but because that's what I'm talking about the Giants. But anyway, so the Indianapolis Colts.
Like that.
Yeah. So what do you think?
No team is a cakewalk, but the way we should play is different. That's two different things. I don't think we should cakewalk the Giants, but at the same time, I don't think we should be going to any at the end of any half down to the Giants or to the Colts. At the end of the day, we're supposed to, which we did. Luckily,
We
we're
should.
supposed to beat the Colts. We're supposed to beat the Colts, and it should be like 28-14, 28-17.
I agree. Look, I think we should have beat the Giants like we beat the Vikings. You know what I'm saying? We should if we were able to play. I just don't believe we will play the way we played against the Vikings anymore. Anything close to that, I'll be appreciative. I just don't think that game
But
is
see,
coming
that's the
back.
thing. Like, then that's not winning football. Like,
I don't know too
that's
many
my
teams.
thing. Is like,
I don't know too many teams who played
I'm not
that
talking
perfect of a
about the
game.
score. I'm not talking about the score, Dad. I'm not saying we should be 40-3. I'm
Me
saying
neither.
the way they called the whole game and the way that the coach was disciplined, and they, even though they had penalties, they didn't have as many penalties as they had this game,
Right.
or even the Green
Right.
Bay game.
Right.
So you're saying if you're not going to get that out of them, you don't expect to get that out of them.
I don't expect to get the perfect play that they did against the Vikings anymore. That's what I don't believe. I believe he's
So,
capable, but I
to
just
me,
don't
if
think
they
we're going
can't,
to.
because to me, if they can't replicate that, then they're not going to go far in the playoffs.
Well, I don't think any team's going to
Because if
replicate.
you're going to give
Look.
up 14,
Any team in the NFL is not going to replicate what we did against the Vikings, unless you tell me who. Even Patrick Mahomes, they ain't going to replicate that, but they're going to
That's
make it to
true.
the playoff, though. They're going to be
That's
there.
facts.
Ain't too many
what?
ain't too many teams
How?
going to replicate.
Okay, so
Ain't
when
no
you
too many
say
teams
so
going to replicate offense and defense, a perfect offense and a perfect defense
yes,
throughout the game. Who? Give me one. Besides us
what?
that played Vikings, give
That
me another team.
Buccaneers,
Who?
that Buccaneers squad that Tom Brady went to the Super Bowl with did. They were consistent on defense. They were consistent on offense. After the bye week, and they came back and they went on a run.
They had perfect games every game when they won that Super Bowl. That's what you're trying to tell me? Because if you're
See,
trying
what are you
to,
trying
that
to say
is not
about
true.
perfect? What are you trying to say about perfect? Because I
What
didn't
they
say
did,
that Dallas needs to be perfect.
No,
I said they need
that's
to
what they
play.
were. They were pretty much perfect when they played the Vikings. And I'm just
No,
saying,
because if they were perfect, Dak wouldn't have missed any throws. That's not what I'm saying. They would have had no penalties if they were perfect.
the
I
way
don't
they get and
expect,
where they play
I
that
expect,
game is I have yet to
I
saw anyone who played
okay.
a game offensively and defensively like that. I haven't seen a game like that.
The only reason we say like that is because it was 40-3, and I'm
Nope,
not
nope,
talking
nope.
about.
That's maybe you might be saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the way they played the game.
It's complete, just not to that level. But I'm saying
We have never played like that.
Brady and
Both
Bill
sides.
Belichick, that's what their whole career was together.
No,
Was them
they
playing
wasn't playing like that. You
they
find me
were
another
17
game. You
17-0.
find me one
17-0.
team that had the same amount of
17-0.
play of offense and defense like we did against the Vikings. Then
I
I don't see it. I don't know no
The
games like that.
2008 Patriots or 2007 Patriots, when they went 17-0, they was consistent with their play. The good to great on offense and good to great on defense.
So they breaks off everybody every game for those 14 games, 15 games.
They went
I don't care.
17-0.
I don't care what 17-0. How did they beat them though?
Who are we talking about?
You know what I'm saying? We won a game yesterday and we wasn't like that, Jordan. We got a W yesterday and we wasn't like we was when the Vikings. All I'm saying is I haven't yet to see a team that played like that for the whole season through the game. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We played that way against the Vikings. Haven't seen that from nobody for a consistent of games. I haven't. Unless you show me somebody was at like a perfect game.
The 2008 Patriots that went 17-0, that played consistent football. We're not gonna consistently, like, I'm not saying they're not gonna get turnovers here or give up here, but at the end of the day, they went in and they say, oh, we're gonna do what we do best, whether it's We're gonna be consistent with our game plan. We're gonna try to minimize penalties, and we're gonna minimize turnovers, and we're gonna capitalize on the things we do best. And that team went 17-0. So I've seen teams being able to be consistent. I've seen teams
No,
go on a run.
not perfect games though. Not a
Perfect
perfect
game.
game.
Oh,
This game wasn't perfect.
wait. Time out. Are we expecting the Dallas Cowboys to go 17-0?
I don't expect
No,
nobody else to go 17-0. But
saying that
no, I'm saying that there's no other team to go. That's
go ahead. Tell them what you mean.
I said there's no other team that would be able to play an entire season like the way the Dallas played against Vikings. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Oh wait, let me ask this question though, Jordan. What team are you saying are playing like they're Super Bowl? They're going to the Super Bowl at this point.
If you look all across the board or just in the NFC?
Period.
Okay, first of all, I would say the Chiefs is number one. They look like they're going to go back to the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Right.
Then after the Chiefs, you have Buffalo.
Buffalo barely lost to the. You remember, like two
You
games
asked
ago.
what teams look like they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Now you're going to sit here and say Buffalo. You said look like. It's an estimation just based on what we've seen.
So the Cowboys don't look, based on those two teams, the Cowboys don't look like they can go to the Super Bowl?
Look, no, I don't believe. Based on the last two games?
You said no. Based on, I just said period.
No, they don't. They don't look like they can go to the Super Bowl based on
But
last
you're
two
saying
games.
Buffalo looks like they're going.
No.
So
You would have to put on the NFC though. You would have to put on the NFC.
Buffalo.
No, but you have to put the NFC because both of them Chiefs and the Bills play on the same AFC, but NFC.
Super Bowl. So you act like the Buffalo ain't gonna go to Super Bowl. You act like they didn't go to the
Playing
you
as
act
good as
like
Josh
they
Allen.
AFC because you act like they didn't go to the AFC Championship last year.
Who cares about last year? I'm talking
Not on a trajectory. They're not good enough.
I'm talking
We
about
haven't
how
even
they're playing
seen
right now.
the AFC Championship. So why are you sitting here acting like we can go when we haven't even done that?
Okay, what are we talking about last year? I'm talking about how they're playing this year. How they're playing this year.
And
How they're
I
playing
said,
this year.
and
Who
I
looks
said,
go to the Super Bowl.
Buffalo. If you were to say what teams are going to go to the Super Bowl just based off right now, who are you saying? They're not your top two?
Did you see Buffalo's last game against
But
Detroit?
But you're talking about the
Against
AFC
Detroit.
though. Only one of them can go.
I don't care about AFC or whatever. Against
Oh, okay.
Detroit. Against Detroit. The way how the Bills played against Detroit. What's the record for Detroit?
And did they win?
Okay, that explains Dad's point. So, did the Cowboys win?
That's not explain
Did
that
the
point.
Cowboys win?
Because we're
That's
talking
all
about two
that
different things.
was the win.
Look, you take one instant. Okay, tell me about the Chiefs. Because I said the Chiefs first. Only one team can go back to the Super Bowl, so I'm going to say the Chiefs. So say something about the Chiefs, Josh. Since you want to take one little thing and minimize it and go, well, look what they did versus the Lions. Okay, tell me then. Tell me about the Chiefs. What's wrong with the Chiefs? Okay, Tasso.
I think the most valid question would be who in the NFC do you think the Dallas would not beat going to go to the Super Bowl? Who's standing in Dallas' way right now to the Super Bowl right now that we not playing better than? NFC.
NFC?
Because anybody in the AFC can't stop us because obviously they're in the AFC. So we just
obviously we got stopped. Obviously we got stopped 3 times. So somebody can't stop us. The Eagles can't stop. The Eagles can't stop us if we meet them in the playoffs.
Kansas got stopped 2 times. Am I wrong?
Green Bay, if we see them in the playoffs, they can't stop us.
Who?
If they get that far.
Tom Brady? That's what
No,
you
I
said?
said that was my next one was Tom Brady. I said the Packers. I said the Packers can't stop us, but they got to worry about getting there first.
Yeah, they ain't gonna make it.
Packers can't stop us. They've proven that in the past they could stop us. They've proven this year they could stop us.
They ain't gonna make it.
They can stop us. Well, yeah, and hopefully we don't make it because we don't want every time we.
Colts, I guess if the Chiefs play the Colts in the postseason, I mean they've proven that they could stop the Chiefs.
No, that's not the same thing.
So that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Okay.
It's not the same thing.
All right.
Because we have to. So you want to throw. So I like how you like to throw history out of it, but then when it serves you right, you put history in it. Because look. No, stop. Because when we talk about Tyron Smith and Tyler Smith, whoa, he was the seventh. He's a Pro Bowl. So you want to bring history into it when it benefits you. But then when it doesn't benefit you, nah, we just talking about just this year.
Okay, let's talk about this year.
Okay. So then I say the Green Bay because Green Bay beat us, and look how they beat us, and look what we did to ourselves.
Okay, we can do it with Tyler Smith and Tyron Smith.
In the playoffs.
Where does Tyler
I said
break it down against all the tackles?
Yes.
Tyler Smith Pro Bowl? He's a Pro Bowl?
Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith. Where does he rank amongst all the tackles?
Oh,
I gotta look at
hold on. We went back to the top. We went back to the.
Because he's trying to use me.
I'm trying to say he's like 10 to 13.
He's in your but what in everybody else's opinion, right? Because he's not 10 or 13, in my opinion, and the experts don't put him at 10 or 13.
What experts? Because I don't even believe half the experts you be bringing up.
Okay, so now the experts don't count. All right, got it. All right, so Tyler Smith.
Look, okay, so you want to say experts, but then you want to get on here because they consider Colin Cowherd an expert. But then you want to sit here and get mad at Colin Cowherd.
Considers Colin Cowherd an expert.
He's considered an expert. He is considered. They got mad analysts. How every expert and analyst that came on and then went on national TV and wrote articles talking about how Jeff Saturday shouldn't be no head coach, and it was stupid to make him an head coach.
So you're saying that Tyler Smith is
That's what I'm saying, experts. That's all I'm saying.
So you're saying that Tyler Smith is going to be in the Pro Bowl this year. You're saying he's going to.
You act like there's great left tackles. The whole thing, everybody is hurting for left tackles. People's left tackles are getting injured. So you act like might want to recheck. The tackles is hurting. The league in the whole is hurting for left tackles. So us to have one of the best left tackles right now, yes, I think Tyler Smith is one of the best left tackles out right now. I think he's somewhere in that 10 to 13. That's not even that crazy. And it's a dip because I think the best one is 49ers.
49ers is a good one.
Eagles.
Eagles is one. That's all I give, though. That's all I see. That's all I see would be a roadblock in front of us. I don't see Green Bay. I don't see nobody else that's going to be anything remotely close to us to stopping us from going.
Green Bay does have a good left tackle. I can't think of his name, but he is a Pro Bowl solid left tackle.
But what I'm saying is, I don't see nobody else stopping the Cowboys from going. If there's anybody who would be able to give us a run to stop, even if we play a good game, would be the 49ers or the Philadelphia Eagles, which I can't stand with a passion. But to be realistic, those two are the only two that I think would make us give us a cause to pause on trying to make it there. But anyway, that was good. That was really good.
So anyway,
what you about to say before we go? What you about to say?
I think the Dallas Cowboys has just as good of a chance to go the distance as any other team.
I do too. I just said there's only two that I believe that would be able to give us a run. That's only two.
Everybody's team is saying that. Everybody has a good chance to going.
Everybody has a chance to go. But not a good chance. Everybody has a chance to go.
Yeah, everybody who has a chance, to me, everybody who's in the playoffs.
I think Cowboys have a good chance. Right.
Yeah, everybody who's in the playoffs, to me, has a chance or a good chance to go.
No, it has a chance to go.
Do you think, but here's the point. Do you think the foundation of the Dallas Cowboys, they can go far in the postseason for the foundation that the Cowboys have, right? Do you think that they can go?
What is the foundation? What is your definition of their foundation? What is the definition of their foundation?
You talking about the culture of the team?
Everything.
What is it? Tell me what it is. Tell me what you think it is.
What is their game? What is their game?
Tell me.
What is their? I'm asking you. Their foundation.
Tell me. What is their game? And I can give you a reply, yes or no. What is their foundation? Tell me. What is their foundation?
What is their game plan? Their game plan to win games, right?
Tell me, what is it?
If they're going to play off the run, and if their defense can tee off of people, is that game plan good enough to go the distance?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right.
But are they going to do that? Are they going to do that?
That's
Is the Kansas City Chiefs going to do that? Is the Buffalo Bills going to do what their foundation, what they're set to do? Because they barely pulled off the win yesterday. So, I mean, it almost seemed like they weren't doing it either until the last play of the game. It came down to the last series of the game for the Buffalo Bills. So, look, they have the talent.
Look. Even if it came down to the last play of the game, right, which they got it done, right? To me, that says more than the way we won versus the Giants. That they can go and pull that off. Because how many times do we got to do something like that where we don't cash in, where everything is on the line and we got to get this first down, or we got to score this, or we got like the Green Bay game. We're not going to kick the field goal. Okay, we're not going to kick the field goal. Okay, let's cash in on this fourth down.
Can I answer that question? Let me answer that.
Tell me.
Buffalo Bills did the same thing. It came down to the last minute, right? I.e., Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, right? Who had the ball last? Josh Allen.
You keep changing it.
No.
You keep changing it. Keep changing it. See, you want to talk about the Lions and then be like, well, look, they barely did the Lions. But then when I say, okay, but look what they did. Now you want to move it even back. Well, look what happened versus Miami. Okay, Josh. Okay, Josh. Keep changing it to fit your narrative. Keep changing it to fit your narrative.
What are you talking about?
You're changing everything to fit your narrative.
I'm not. I'm trying to use your game. I'm going into your game.
You brought up the Lions. You asked me what players.
You said that. Oh,
no. You asked me what teams look like they can go to the Super Bowl. I said Chiefs. You didn't say nothing. I said Bills. They almost lose. They almost lost to the Lions.
And then that was a hole in your argument. That's a hole in your argument.
And then right. Then you want to bring up they almost lost, and then you go, well, we turned it around, and they barely beat the Lions, and I said, well, I put more stock in them being able to go down the field and get what they need to get the job done versus us.
Why?
Because you're gonna need plays like that to win playoff games. Because playoff games.
The other games that they lost. Did you see the other games that they lost? They did the same exact thing, but it came down to the distance, and Josh Allen didn't capitalize on it. The games that they lost, it's the same thing that happened. They just so happened to win this game. That's all I'm saying. Is that they weren't doing the same thing during the times that they lost it, when it was in Josh Allen's hands. He was throwing picks in the red zone.
I like saying all that. Okay, but what did Josh Allen do? What did Josh Allen do last year in the AFC Championship when he needed one? Since you want to bring all of his downfalls, let's bring all of what he do last year in the overtime.
You're right, because the Bills were playing in the Super Bowl. It was the Bills that were playing the Super Bowl last year.
I said the AFC Championship. What are you talking about?
The AFC Championship. Who won the AFC Championship last year?
No. Who won? No. Because hold on. Who won? Yeah, because you want to skip over the fact. Because you had dudes screaming. No. Because you had dudes screaming about wanting to change the whole rules for Josh Allen, because they're like, oh, Josh Allen got played. So now you don't even want to say what Josh Allen did on the second biggest game of any team's life outside of Super Bowl.
The biggest game of any team's life that they lost. Got it. All right.
Okay, now you want to top it up to a loss. Now you want to top it up to a loss. So he don't want to mention that how he don't want to mention that how Josh Allen put the whole team on his back and ran the ball down the field, scored, and then lost the coin toss. And the defense lost in the game. He don't want to talk about Josh Allen being a GOAT in that aspect. Okay.
All right. Okay, look, we got to wrap this up. This is really good. This is really good. But we're gonna have to wrap this up, and we're gonna come back this week and talk about right before we get to Indianapolis, and see where we're gonna go. See what things have transpired throughout the week, and see if we got any injuries. Anybody saying, see what we're gonna do with what's the coach for the Colts? Jeff
Saturday.
Yeah, we'll
Who's
see
got
what we're
those
gonna
guys
look.
playing hard?
Yeah. I think we win that game, but then again, you know what I'm saying. I believe when we come out and play anywhere near that when we
should.
play, even today, we should win that game.
Do we have the picks for next Sunday?
No, I don't.
Real quick.
No, I don't. I don't have them.
We could do another podcast and just do that.
Yeah, we get another podcast. Then maybe that time you have a mount for your iPhone.
Yeah. True. I don't have an iPhone.
Maybe you should get one. But anyway, so but that's us today. This is just setting it straight with fam. You know, I love the debate for my boys. They get up to get all the way in about this. There's no play, there's no setup. It's all about fam, baby. We talking about them Cowboys, and we're gonna do it again like we always do it. And just like we started, we're gonna end it with just like that. And we're gonna say how about them Cowboys. That's right. So see you guys. Subscribe. Hit the like button down low. Let's do this again. Yeah.